Ho, 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 merry, almost just about acceptable to talk about Christmas, but not even remotely acceptable to play the Pogues or Mariah Carey yet. Yes, I want to talk about Christmas today. How very upbeat and jolly and amazing of me. You know, it's like a far cry from the ranty videos of yore. But yeah, I do want to talk about Christmas because despite being a bit of a grumpy old man, and I've got the flat cap to prove it, I actually really, really enjoy Christmas. I enjoy so much of Christmas. The friends, the family, the silly games, the eating and drinking too much, the getting together with people you might not have seen all year. Christmas is an amazing time, but we have a tendency to make it unnecessarily stressful for ourselves. So I believe, and this is what I want to talk about today, I believe the best present that you can give friends and family and colleagues and whoever, legitimate lovers, I don't know, don't care, the best present you can give these people this year is the relief of not having to buy you a Christmas present and reciprocating the favour. Christmas is an amazing time. It's, like I say, a great time to get together with people that maybe we haven't had that much opportunity to spend time with over the last couple of years. So imagine the joy on someone's face. If you send them a text message or a WhatsApp or whatever the latest incarnation of ways in which we communicate with ourselves in the 21st century is, and say, hi. Don't have to sound that enthusiastic. I wouldn't. Hi. You know, hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family are brilliant. Hope everything is amazing and sunshine and rainbows in your world. A bit over the top. Maybe just say hi. You know, haven't seen you much this year. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to Christmas. Going to be a bit of a busy time, but it'd be great if we could find a date where we can both get together to do whatever you want to do. You know, have a couple of drinks, go out for dinner, play some games, do, you know, a couple of lines off of hooker's tits. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, right? Whatever suits you. But at the end, you say, I was just thinking, maybe we don't bother doing presents this year. Imagine the relief of getting a message like that. That's one less burden. One less thing you have to think about. One less present you have to try and not only think of something thoughtful, but you have to consider, well, how much are they likely to spend on me? I don't want to seem mean. But likewise, you don't want to go out and be extravagant and put loads of thought and stuff into, you know, a really elaborate fancy present. And they buy you a box of them bloody Belgian chocolate seashell things that seem to have been around since, well, forever. You know, and then you feel slightly hard done by, and, you know, it's just laden with issues. Not only that, but you get to save whatever money you were going to spend on these presents as well, and you can put that forward to the aforementioned, well, you know, all those things I referred to previously, which I won't do because I'll probably get my video removed. And look, I'm not saying do this with absolutely everybody, okay? If you've got kids, yes, you know, as mercenary as it sounds, and as much as I think kids can be overspoilt sometimes this time of year, presents are a part of Christmas for kids, you know? At least for the lucky ones who, you know, who get presents. And maybe a bit more on that later. So don't take that away from them. And obviously, you know, I certainly wouldn't recommend not buying your wife a present. That's generally a ill-conceived bit of advice. But maybe, you know, if it suits, and it does sometimes suit me and my wife, although I have a tendency to completely go against this, much to her disgust, and probably completely against my own advice here. We do sometimes set a bit of a limit as to how much we can spend because, again, you know, it's all combined money anyway, so it's all academic, isn't it? But so I'm not suggesting you don't buy your kids or your spouse or whatever your present, right? That's fine. That's acceptable. Good on you. Good luck to you. Whatever. But when it goes beyond immediate family, and when it becomes friends, and then the children of friends, and then you end up with this. I know my wife does it. Monstrous list of all of these people. And then she gets stressed because she hasn't bought this person something. And then they'll buy them something. And then she's got to dash out and buy something else. If you buy someone a present and they weren't going to buy you one, okay, you're buying them an obligation. You're buying them effectively a fine because they now have to spend money. And money can be very, very tight around Christmas. They have to spend money in order to reciprocate that, or they're going to feel guilt. So even if they choose not to reciprocate the gift, you've given them guilt, which is fantastic, isn't it? Everyone wants a bit of guilt at Christmas. And quite often with these people on the periphery that we buy presents for, they end up being the same sort of cliched stuff. Alcohol, chocolates, all that sort of thing, right? Lovely. But what are the things we don't need any more of at Christmas? Alcohol, chocolates, food, things like this. So we end up massively oversubscribed with stuff that we don't need and it is bad for us. And this is certainly no sort of health campaign or health tirade, all right? You know, I will be eating too much, I will be drinking too much over Christmas, but I can do that of my own volition. I'll have the stuff in stock to do that. I don't need presents from other people. Think how much less stressful your life will be. Think how much easier the run up to Christmas will be, and how much more time you can spend enjoying seeing friends, seeing family, playing silly games, and all the other things I mentioned in the run up to Christmas, rather than stressing about what to buy people, whether they're going to buy you something. Should I buy them something just in case? Keep an emergency presents in stock. It seems really sort of a bit like it's taking the magic out of it to just message people and say, let's not do presents this year. If you want to do presents just for the kids, so you want to buy your friends' kids presents, then do that. In fact, do whatever the hell you want, right? I'm just a bloke in a hat ranting a bit. Okay, do what you want. But can I also suggest, and this is going to sound really mean to some, but kids get enough presents at Christmas. Kids sometimes get too many presents at Christmas, and I understand there will be some that get very few. And they're the ones maybe you should be buying for. But I'm speaking as first-hand experience here. My wife has a large family, and they always used to buy her daughter, my stepdaughter, loads of presents at Christmas. And she would have literally piles of presents, which is lovely, isn't it? But it's not, because they all lose meaning. And opening these presents becomes not the sort of what I remember as a child. And I had a very nice, very comfortable upbringing, thank you very much. But it's not what I remember as a kid. It wasn't opening a present, looking at it, going, wow, this is great. I really wanted this, and then thinking, I can't wait to play with that later, or I can't wait to do whatever it is, later. It becomes a regimented, right, rip the paper off, next one, rip the paper off, next one, rip the paper off, next one. And I'm not saying she's super spoiled. I'm not saying that maybe she does then go back to these presents and enjoy them. But it's not necessary for children to have that much stuff. So before you get into this loop of buying everyone you know and everyone you know's kids presents, just think, will all of our lives be easier? Can we all enjoy Christmas that little bit more without spending more than maybe we can afford and burdening people that we purport to care about with the need to reciprocate or feel guilt for not returning the favour? Just my advice. Try it. Maybe just try it this year. Oh, two things. I mentioned previously children that don't get presents. Now, this brings me on to my second point as well. There's a motorcycle club near me, and I'm not going to post any links or anything like that because everywhere's got a local equivalent that does this, right? But there's a motorcycle club near me that collects presents for kids that don't get presents at Christmas. Right? Excuse the emotion. And they, towards Christmas, they go around to the children's hospitals, the children's hospice, and some of the children's homes and stuff, and they deliver these presents because the kids won't be getting anything otherwise, right? And I think that's fucking brilliant. And I always donate presents and toys and stuff when I can, right? Do that. Okay, but this isn't to say, and this is coming on to my final point before I have an emotional breakdown. Here comes on to my final point. Don't feel you have to substitute buying your friends presents with doing something worthy. Don't adopt, a snow leopard in their name. Don't donate to the ballet, in their name. Don't say, oh, I'm not buying. Don't make a big deal of it on social media. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to buy my friends presents this year. I'm going to donate the money to some good cause. If that's what you're going to do, and that relieves the stress of having to think and buy presents, that's great. Let your friends know, or your extended family know that you're not going to buy them presents, and give the money that you saved to the charity of your choice without shouting about it. If you don't want to send Christmas cards this year, to touch on another sensitive subject, then don't. That's fine. Although I would suggest that actually to me, and I'm only speaking for me, a Christmas card received in the post from someone who, I know and like in his family, or someone I haven't spoken to for a while, means a lot more to me than another bottle of scotch in the cupboard, which is only going to be drunk come Boxing Day, which I should also be drunk come Boxing Day. So I think cards are a very thoughtful thing to do. But if you're not going to send cards, again, that's fine. But don't say, well, instead of spending money on cards and stamps this year, we've decided to give it to the blind dogs. Not blind dogs, guide dogs. Guide dogs to the blind. That's it, not actual blind dogs. Obviously, they deserve love too. Everyone loves a blind dog, bless them. Anyway, don't do that. Just give them, if you want to save the money and then give it to charity, good luck to you. Well done, that's really worthy. Or try and maybe find one of these organisations that does toys for kids that won't be getting presents this year. Do that. But don't shout about it on social media. It doesn't, it won't come across as worthy and virtuous as you think. People just think you're being a little bit lazy and a little bit showy by doing it, trust me. But on that note, Have a great Christmas. Look, everything I said is my opinion. It's what I plan to do. It's got nothing to do with me. If you want to go and buy everyone on your street and everyone at your kids' school presents, then fucking knock yourselves out, honestly. But whatever you do, have a great Christmas. Try and enjoy it as much as possible. Enjoy seeing friends. Enjoy seeing family. And if you haven't got many friends and family around you, go to the local pub. Get to know people. Just enjoy, embrace the atmosphere. Embrace the spirit of Christmas. And try and alleviate the financial and personal stress that this present buying ritual tends to cause us year in, year out. Stay safe, stay sane. Very early, almost acceptable to talk about Christmas, but not ready to pay the pogues just yet. And I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.